Yahya Sarea, sometimes referred to as Yemeni Houthi by mistake, is the spokesperson for the Houthi military forces in Yemen, officially known as Ansar Allah. The Houthis have increasingly positioned themselves as part of the so-called axis of resistance against Israel and Western allies, aligning themselves ideologically with Iran, Hezbollah, and Palestinian groups like Hamas. How the Houthis might cause problems for Israel. 1. Red Sea disruptions. Since late 2023, the Houthis have been targeting commercial shipping in the Red Sea, especially vessels linked to Israel or its allies. This has disrupted global trade and increased military tensions in the region. 2. Missile and drone attacks. The Houthis have a growing arsenal of Iranian-supplied ballistic missiles and drones. They have launched several long-range attacks targeting southern Israel, some intercepted, others causing alarm. 3. Proxy escalation. The Houthis act as a southern pressure point in the broader regional conflict. If Israel becomes heavily engaged in Gaza, Lebanon, or Syria, the Houthis can open a new front from the south, stretching Israeli and allied resources. 4. Symbolic and propaganda value. Even if the Houthis don't inflict major damage, their involvement adds pressure politically and symbolically, feeding into anti-Israel narratives and rallying support across the region. 5. Iranian influence and coordination. The Houthis are closely backed by Iran, which uses them as a strategic proxy. Any Houthi move against Israel is rarely isolated, it usually reflects a broader regional strategy coordinated with Iran, Hezbollah, and even Iraqi militias. This gives Iran deniability while still putting pressure on Israel from multiple directions. 6. Disrupting U.S. and allied support for Israel. By targeting shipping lanes or threatening U.S. bases in the Gulf and Red Sea regions, the Houthis force the U.S. to divert naval assets and attention. This stretches U.S. military resources and complicates its ability to support Israel fully, especially if escalation occurs on multiple fronts. 7. Expanding the conflict zone. Israel prefers to localize its conflicts, keeping them mostly in Gaza, West Bank, and along its northern border with Lebanon. When the Houthis fire missiles or drones from over 1,000 miles away, they symbolically expand the battlefield. Even if the attacks are intercepted, it increases Israeli public anxiety and opens up strategic vulnerabilities. 8. Media and psychological warfare. Yahya Sarea and Houthi media are skilled at using even small-scale attacks to claim major victories. They broadcast missile launches, threats, and anti-Israel rhetoric widely to influence Arab public opinion, rally support, and pressure moderate Arab governments that have normalized ties with Israel, like the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. 9. Logistical impact on Israel's economy. Disrupting Red Sea shipping has forced many vessels to reroute around Africa, increasing costs and slowing down supply chains to and from Israel. This has economic consequences, not just for Israel, but for the entire region and global trade, putting indirect pressure on Israel through economic channels. 10. Religious and ideological framing. The Houthis often frame their conflict as part of a larger religious struggle, defending Jerusalem or supporting Palestine. This appeals to grassroots Muslim sentiment across the Middle East and adds moral legitimacy, in their view, to their actions, gaining sympathy even outside their immediate supporters. 11. Future military capability growth. The Houthis' military capabilities are improving fast. With Iran's help, they've moved from short-range skirmishes to long-range precision strikes. If this trend continues, they may eventually be able to launch coordinated, multi-drone and missile salvos that overwhelm Israeli or allied defenses, especially if timed with attacks from Hezbollah or Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria. 12. Naval threats and maritime militancy. The Houthis have also been experimenting with naval mines, drone boats, and even hijacking ships. These asymmetric tactics allow them to punch above their weight and hit Israeli-linked targets without needing a navy. The Red Sea is narrow and crucial, just a few successful strikes could paralyze shipping and provoke a wider military response. 13. Triggering a regional war. If Houthi attacks directly cause Israeli casualties, or hit critical infrastructure, Israel may feel compelled to retaliate. This could draw the Houthis deeper into the conflict and might even provoke a direct Israeli strike on Yemen. That scenario risks drawing in Iran and causing a wider regional war involving U.S. forces, Hezbollah, and potentially even Gulf states. 14. Impact on Arab normalization deals. By attacking Israel while claiming solidarity with Palestinians, the Houthis increase pressure on Arab regimes that have signed normalization deals with Israel, like the Abraham Accords. These attacks complicate public diplomacy in countries like the UAE or Saudi Arabia, where public sympathy for Palestinians remains strong even if governments are allied with the West. 15. Proxy messaging to the US and allies. Every Houthi missile launch at Israel is also a message to Washington: we can disrupt your plans anywhere in the region. It's a reminder that US bases in the Gulf and Western interests in the Red Sea and Indian Ocean are within reach of Iranian allied groups. If the Houthis stay involved, they'll likely keep focusing on high visibility, low-cost tactics, targeting shipping, launching drones, and dominating the narrative online, rather than going toe-to-toe with Israel directly. But even those indirect tactics can do serious damage over time.